This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven son. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Tuesday night, December the 6th, 2022. 19 days till Christmas. Remember, all my gifts got to be worth at least $200. Nothing less. Joining me in the upper left-hand portion of the screen, as always, from Phatts Studio B, the one, the only, the non-genetically proven son.
Yay.
Who calls me today asking me a tax question.
I did.
It's like, what is he thinking? I'm a YouTube broadcaster. How am I supposed to know about taxes?
You're an accountant.
I'm a YouTube broadcaster.
An accountant. So you would know how to deal with the tax question I pre-holded to ask you.
And the answer was no, condoms are not tax deductible. In your
Unless they're
case.
used for my business.
In your case. In your case. Yes. For some reason, he wanted to fill condoms with water and use them as water balloons.
That's tax deductible.
It is not tax deductible.
Why would I get condoms to do that? Why not just get water balloons?
Exactly what my point was.
Condoms are kind of expensive for that.
Well, you know they're not going to break, or at least shouldn't. So polls just closed in the Georgia runoff.
Oh, that was today?
That was today.
Oh,
Did you go vote?
I don't live in Georgia.
So?
I don't think I'm allowed to vote.
So?
I don't think I'm allowed to vote
Well,
legally.
dead people shouldn't be voting either, and they do.
They lived in Georgia, probably, at least.
I'm sure some dead guy from Saskatchewan voted.
Where's Saskatchewan?
Canada.
Is it actually?
Yes.
Surprised you know anything about Canada.
I know their national anthem. You want me to sing it?
Cold. You don't know every word.
Canada, our home and native land, true patriot stars in all our sons' command. Shall I continue?
You've been to hockey way too much. If you know it, the only way Americans know the Canadian national anthem is if you're a hockey fan. That's the only reason.
Okay. I'm surprised you didn't ask me to sing it in French.
Yes, sing it in French.
I'll get back to you on that one. So polls closed in Georgia in the runoff race to determine the 100th senator.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be about an 8-point win for the Democratic dude that shouldn't be a Democrat because he's
The good Reverend Warnock is taking on Herschel Walker. Now, normally, when there's runoff elections, the incumbent 9 times out of 10 is in a lot of trouble. Because if the incumbent can't get to 50%, there's something wrong. And they normally lose runoff elections. But now, do you think the Democrat is going to lose in a runoff election in this day and age?
No.
Thank you. Was you the answer delayed there? You had to think about that?
Well, I said they did it last time.
It's going to be about a 3 to 4 point win for Warnock. Probably. Because that's what happens in today's day and age. When Democrats could go to every nursing home, cemetery, crematorium, poorhouse, outhouse. You know, Elvis's house, even though he doesn't live in Georgia. My house, your house, their house, he, she, its house. And just stuff ballot boxes. Democrats win. So until Republicans decide that they're going to do that, they ain't going to win national, these big state and national elections. It just isn't going to happen. Just isn't going to happen.
Kiana says hi.
Hi.
Oh, he's getting in an angry mood.
Did she vote today?
Did you vote today?
Of course not.
Did you vote today?
17 times.
Didn't know you had an official address in Georgia.
I give messages every day about some Marco Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. They want to buy my house, so I must live in Georgia.
Interesting. Did you look up the house?
Yes, I have. It looks like a little shack.
Kiana said she did not vote.
Uh-huh. Could tell you don't care about what's going on in Georgia. We probably just confused her.
Probably did.
Yeah, let's see if I can find one of these. I usually delete them as they come in. Here's one from last night. Hello, my name is Brittany. Came across 2723 Marco Drive, Atlanta, the other day. I wanted to know if that house was still yours. I've been getting those kind of texts for about 8 or 9 years.
Really?
Yeah. I love it when they call me because it's a woman that owns it, and I'd say, "Do I really sound like a fucking woman?"
And confused. She doesn't know what's going on.
You're supposed to vote in Georgia today. Warnock is gonna win. Like, Warnock should lose, but he's gonna win because that's what happens. That is unfortunately what happens in today's day and age. Till Republicans wise up. So something else happened today. And I don't mean I pooped.
Is it sports related?
Well, a lot of things happen today sports related, but no, this is a politics show. We talk sports on Fridays.
What happened?
Trump was found guilty.
Of what?
Or so the numbnuts on the left want you to believe. The numbnuts on the left want you to believe that Trump was found guilty.
Of what?
Tax evasion.
Can you prove that?
But it was his organization that was found guilty. Not Trump. The organization. Manhattan jury has found 2 Trump Organization companies guilty on multiple charges of criminal tax fraud and falsifying business records connected to a 15-year scheme to defraud tax authorities by failing to report and pay taxes on compensation for top executives. The Trump Corp and Trump Payroll Corp were found guilty on all charges they faced. Donald Trump and his family, listen to what I'm going to say. Okay? I'm reading the article from CNN, the criminal news network. Not very favorable to people on the right. I want you to listen to the next sentence I'm going to say. Donald Trump and his family were not charged in this case.
Because he really doesn't have much to do with it.
Donald Trump and his family were not charged in this case. But if you look at Twitter, huge hashtag, Trump is done. Trump is done. Trump is done. That's about the 8,463rd time since 2016 I've seen that hashtag trending on Twitter that Trump is done. Idiots on the left. Donald Trump and his family were not charged in the case, but the former president was mentioned repeatedly during the trial by prosecutors about his connection to the benefits doled out to certain executives, including company-funded apartments, car leases, and personal expenses. Which, I'm not an accountant, or maybe I am. See how I segued into your question? Does create, when they do that, when they pay for stuff like that, I'll read it again. Benefits doled out to certain executives, including company-funded apartments, car leases, and personal expenses. When a company pays for stuff like that, it is called a fringe benefit, which in turn becomes a fringe benefit compensation, and that is subject to tax. So if the company was not paying taxes on it, whether the company, technically it's supposed to be the individual that pays the tax on it. It's supposed to be. So whether the company was not filing the proper paperwork or putting these fringe benefits on the employees' W-2s, yeah, they broke the law. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. That stuff is subject to taxation under the federal taxation laws. The Trump organization could face a maximum of $1.61 million in fines. Oh boy. The company is not at risk of being dismantled because there was no mechanism under New York law that would dissolve the company. However, a felony conviction could impact its ability to do business or obtain loans or contracts. Do you really think people are going to stop, banks are going to stop lending the Trump organization money because of this? Because, oh, I forgot to put executive named Carl's lunch. I forgot to charge him tax. Or comptroller of the company D. whose apartment we lease for him because he lives, in Massachusetts, so he stays in the city of New York during the week so he can have his hookers over during the week, which maybe the company's paying for that too. Do you think banks are going to not do business with the Trump organization? Come on. The guilty verdict comes as Trump is under scrutiny by federal and state prosecutors for his handling of classified documents, false, the effort to overturn the 2020 election, big deal, and the accuracy of Trump Organization's business records and financial statements. He's also facing a $250 million civil lawsuit from the New York Attorney General alleging he and his adult children were involved in a decade-long fraud. No proof of that. The Attorney General is seeking to permanently bar them from serving as an officer or director of the company in New York State, among other penalties. Trump Organization attorneys said they plan to appeal. I got 3 words. Big fucking deal. If you think this is going to sink Donald Trump you're pretty fucking clueless. Like, you are seriously fucking clueless.
So millions of people aren't clueless.
So let's go under a hashtag Trump is done. And let's read what some of the people are saying. You know, on Twitter, which the left doesn't like anymore because it's all about free speech now.
Oh, yeah. Elon Musk got rid of like 44,000 child porn things and nobody said a word.
Yes.
Or like leftists said that they're purging the left and free speech doesn't exist. Sure.
From Ellis Crane, who's a little triggered. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck anyone who's defending Trump. And definitely fuck every elected official who's knowingly, deliberately, recklessly spreading lies to try and cover for Trump. Ellis Crane sounds like she needs to get fucked once in a while.
I was thinking, fuck you too, then.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, she's got a twig up her ass. I mean.
Here's one. Adam Schiff. We know Adam Schiff, right? We now have reason to believe Trump ripped the tags off of his mattresses back in 1987. Yeah. Yeah. Donald Trump is a fascist. Okay. This from somebody who obviously has blue waves in their name. I won't say their screen name or anything, but let me see if they have their pronouns in their profile. Shockingly, no. And they don't even have a Ukraine flag.
Wow.
But they do have hashtag vaccinated and hashtag Black Lives Matter.
Are they white?
Yes. Yes.
All you need to know.
They do have hashtag end the filibuster. Honey, you don't want the filibuster ended. Because when Republicans take control of the Senate, look out. Be careful what you wish for, honey darling. Is she good looking? Oh, God, her profile picture is Obama and Biden.
Nice.
She's got an ugly fucking dog, I'll say that. She's a wife, graphic artist, and life lover. Let's see here, what else? Breaking news from Tim Boulder, who you can't comment on Tim Boulder's Twitter page unless you're a friend of his, like unless he follows you or you follow him. Trump org guilty of all counts. Trump company is history. Oh, really? 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 Come on, man. Criminal charges to follow. Special prosecutor. Georgia PA grand jury indictments are imminent. Trump is done. Sure. Let's look at his profile. Vote blue. Biden-Harris. Black Lives Matter. Atheist. Supports Ukraine. Doesn't have a Ukraine flag, though.
But has the word Ukraine. That's enough. So when are they going to tell us exactly what they're doing with all the money that they're getting?
I don't know. Do you agree that Trump is done? A Manhattan jury has found 2 Trump organizational companies guilty on all charges of criminal tax fraud and falsifying business records. Let's look at Tony's profile. Vote blue. The Supreme Court, women's rights, voting rights, LGBTQ rights, justice, nature, and climate change. Maggie Haberman, who looks like a lesbian. She's a senior political correspondent for the New York Times. She doesn't have anything in her profile. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Couple more. Up! Up! Ukraine flag!
There it is.
Boiled, fried, and fresh off the vine. I read banned books. Nothing wrong with that. Anti-Trump, proud Democrat, well-traveled, Southerner, love all animals, Ukraine. Yeah. Here's a good-looking woman. I take that back. She's all right. She's not a cupcake like Preston called that old woman once. You remember that?
Did he call her cupcake from like the back or something?
Yeah.
And then, also like 12. Yeah, she ended up being like 60. Cupcake. I do remember that. Because you wouldn't shut up about it for like a year.
Well, because she was like 60.
But it was funny.
So the other big news was, according to the left, Trump wants to disband the Constitution.
That's a new one.
Yes. He wants to disband the Constitution.
I mean, so does the left.
So, shockingly, you might find this shocking as well. There is a member of our family, our male side of our family, who's a Democrat.
I can think of a few.
Really?
I can think of one.
Okay. Very shocking that any male people on the male side of our family are Democrats. That's like very shocking. So, of course, he wrote, about Trump said he wants to end the Constitution. So I told him, obviously, you had to be switched at birth. So here is what Trump said. A massive fraud of this type, because of course, I will say Trump's got to let the election of 2020 go. He does. A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution. That's what he said. I'll read it again. A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those in the Constitution. Now, there's been debate going on in this country for 35 years whether the courts have the right to not overturn an election, but order a new election. Let's go back to 1978. Boy, was that a bad time in America.
You were 6.
I did turn somewhere around there in that year, yeah. Actually, it was in 1976. A district court in New York heard a case alleging voter fraud in several urban locations. The court's opinion maintained that federal courts had a role to play in ensuring free and fair presidential elections, arguing it is difficult to imagine a more damaging blow to public confidence in the electoral process than the election of a president whose margin of victory was provided by fraudulent registrations or voting, ballot stuffing, or other illegal means. The assertion challenged the idea that presidential elections occupy a special category beyond such court remedies. So at least in one federal courtroom, they said, yeah, the courts can order new elections. It has happened in this country before. Rare instances, and it has never happened for president, mind you. But there was a House race a few years ago in North Carolina. And there was something that happened in New York a few years ago, too. I believe it was New York. But the one that I remember was there was a House race in North Carolina where there was proven voter fraud, so the courts ordered a whole brand new election.
It's pretty easy to prove voter fraud when someone's dead when they voted.
Yeah. So yeah, it continues. Orange Man Bad, he continues to live rent-free in millions and millions of the left's heads. It's amazing. It's amazing. The question is, though, still, did Kiana vote in Georgia today?
She said no. She doesn't live close to it.
She could have driven down to Georgia. The devil went down to Georgia once.
He was looking for a soul to steal.
Because he was in a bind because he was way behind.
He was willing to make a deal.
Very good. Very good. Do you know the rest of that song? And he came across this young man sawing on a fiddle.
Playing it hot.
The devil jumped up.
He stopped and said, "Boy, let me tell you what."
Bum, bum, bum. I guess you didn't know it.
But I'm a fiddle player, too.
And if you care to take a dare,
I'll make a bet with you.
Now, you play pretty good fiddle, boy.
But give the devil his due.
I got a fiddle of gold.
Against your soul to say that I'm better than you.
Bum, bum. The voice said, my name's
Johnny.
And it might be a
10.
But I'll take your
bet, because you're going to regret that I'm the best it's ever been.
Johnny, you're rising up your bow and play your fiddle hard, because hell's broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals the cards. Now, if you win, you get the shiny fiddle made of gold, but if you lose, the devil will get your soul. So the question is, Kiana, if the devil could go down to Georgia, why couldn't you?
That might be one of the best things that ever come out of this show.
Yeah, we gotta put that on the greatest hits. It's not as good as Killing Grandma. Like, nothing will ever be Killing Grandma.
That was pretty good. I bet you didn't even know I knew that much of that
I had no clue you would have known that song.
I love that song.
Oh, that's right. You like country music, sort of, kind of.
Sort of, kind of.
Sort of,
That's probably the only thing I listen to. Because I finally found a radio station that works near the town that I live in. It's a country station.
Who would have known?
Country legends.
Who would have known? You can just, like, download the Sirius app on your phone and play country music all day long.
You know what? When I'm driving 15 minutes from somewhere, or 10 minutes, I just turn on a radio station.
Got it.
And around here, I can't get the politics radio station to work, so it doesn't work, so I think it's out of Altoona. Actually, I'm pretty sure I know it's out of Altoona.
All right.
So, for whatever reason, it stops working right outside of State College.
Boy, it's amazing. When we started singing, our viewership went up. Shocking.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Impressive.
Maybe we should sing verse 2. The devil opened up his case and he said, I'll
start this show.
And fire flew from his
fingertips as he rosined up his bow.
And he pulled the string across the
oh no.
bow.
And it made an evil hiss.
And a band of
demons joined in and sounded something like this.
When the devil finished, Johnny said, well,
you're pretty good, old son.
But sit down in that chair right there.
Let me show you how it's done.
He said, bound, run, boys, run. Devil's in the house in the rising sun. Na, 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 na. Chicken in the greyhound picking outdoor. Na, 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 na. Ready for no town, no. Na, 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 na.
Joe says, love the performance. Tom says, wow, tuned into Devil Went Down to Georgia sung badly.
Fuck you, Tom. When the devil finished, Johnny said. Oh, wait. I had that wrong. I'm replaying.
Yeah.
I'm replaying. How does it start? Because then it goes when he knew that he was beat. But what's the line before?
Yeah. Devil knew that he'd been beat, so he laid the golden fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet.
Yeah, but isn't there a line before that?
There might be.
Something about when he. Fuck. I can't believe. Come on, we got this far in the damn song.
I'm looking up the lyrics.
I know it goes, because he knew that he'd been beat. He laid that golden fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet. Johnny said, Devil, you just come on back if you ever want to try again, because I told you once, you son of a bitch, that I'm the best that's ever been. And he played, bound the man, the run, boys, run.
When the devil finished, Johnny said,
yeah, that's the verse before.
Where the devil bowed his head.
Yeah, the devil bowed his head. I can't believe I could remember that.
He laid the golden fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet. Then he played from
Tom knew it.
Run, boys, run.
Tom knew it.
Yeah. He was surprised enough that I even knew that song.
Well, it's a pretty old song.
I don't know. It's a pretty good country song. You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome, Tom.
He said thank you.
Yes. So the question is, to get back to why we started singing. Why didn't you go to Georgia today to vote? If the devil could go to Georgia, you could go to Georgia. You can't go to Texas because all your exes live in Texas, so you can't go to Texas.
I know that country song too.
Can you say the words of that one? No.
All my exes live in Texas. Something like that.
Yeah. Very good. You got one line.
Yeah.
You got one line. Mm-hmm.
It's a sad song.
Oh, my exes. So, again, why couldn't you?
I'll give you $5 if you can know why I know that song.
Because you have an ex that moved to Texas?
No.
Okay.
It was sung on SpongeBob.
Yeah, like, I'm going to know that.
It was a song played in SpongeBob. How's that for your trivia fact of the day?
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Let me see.
Excited.
So, I want to plug something tonight. We're going to go a little Americana here tonight.
Have we already done that?
Well, yeah, we do that all the time.
Isn't the whole show kind of based off of that?
So if I could find a trailer for a movie, I want to play it. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pause this and let the ad play. Another ad, of course. So, back, while we're talking about older things, there used to be a TV show in the 70s, believe it or not, that was based out of Georgia. Let's see how many clues It will take till Tom gets this show. It was based out of Georgia. It was on CBS every Friday night at 8 o'clock. Let's see if Tom can get that. Get the show based off of those clues. Don't say it.
I have no idea what show it is.
Okay, write it down.
I don't know the name of it.
Okay, so let's see if Tom can get it. The show was based out of Georgia. It was on CBS every Friday at 8 o'clock. Let's see if Tom can get it, if he's still watching. Hopefully he's still watching. I'm going to bet he's going to get it just by those clues. Hey, he got it. The Dukes of Hazzard.
I was thinking All of the Family.
All of the Family. Now, they were based out of Queens, New York.
or like the Cosby Show or something.
So, John Snyder came out with a movie. And I'm going to play the trailer for it. I want to, like, right now, I believe the only way you can see this movie is to buy the DVD. So I'm going to have to, I'm too cheap to do that. But I might even do that. If I can't find it, that might be a good Christmas present, hint, hint. I want to play the trailer for this movie. Because it looks like a really good movie.
Is it called The Dukes of Hazzard?
It's called To Die For.
To Die For.
Flag.
It's not my flag. That's your flag. Too many lies have been told to my people under the shadow of that flag.
I want you to take it down.
From where?
Your truck.
My truck, my flag.
Some people find it offensive.
What if I find them offensive? You gonna take them down?
Why not take the new trail?
Because I like the old trail.
It's my road too, Arnie. I know, but there are other roads.
Do you want it? Playing it? I got a shotgun. It seems to me some things are worth losing your job over, Maggie.
Not to me.
4th of July's over. Take your flag down, old man.
It's always 4th of July at my house.
All of the grass shall grow and the water run.
I told you what would happen the next time you touch my flag, Tonto.
What are you gonna do with that gun?
Don't get out of my yard, you'll find out.
And I can identify with Mr. Quinn's position on this matter.
Why the hell is everybody so damn worried about losing their jobs and so little worried about losing their freedom?
Next time I'll cut a donut in your damn living room. Touch my flag again.
In fact, that school is where I learned to say the Pledge of Allegiance in the first place. Indivisible. But you live under it now.
I live next to it. There's a difference.
Do you drink up enough nerve to tell me to go to hell yet?
Do us both a favor and take the new road in and out of town from now on.
It hurts me as much as it does you.
Somehow I doubt that, man.
I'm going to file the restraining order for the school.
Against me.
Crazy old man.
With great displeasure and embarrassment that I find in favor of the plaintiff, in this case, Miss Quinn.
You're going to jail, Quentin.
No kidding.
Somebody ought to put that dog down, put it out of its misery.
Somebody ought to put you down, put you out of my misery.
I'll call the cops. Get those in jail.
Actually, I'm not planning on being around that long.
I have a right to take a knee. It's called freedom of speech.
You don't have a right to know squat. You gave that up the second your knee hit the grass. Why don't you just leave the country? You hate it so damn much.
Would it surprise you to know that I fought for your flag?
Very much.
Mom knew why we did this again?
Not even Afghanistan makes it any less your flag.
Doesn't it?
I was willing to sacrifice my life for your right to take a knee. What are you willing to sacrifice for my right not to?
So.
I hope you know that didn't play on the screen.
Oh, that didn't play on the screen. Great, because I never hit the damn button.
I was waiting. I'm like, what's going on? Like,
well, why didn't you say something?
I was trying to. By the way, this movie is a mystery thriller.
Oh, it doesn't appear to be a mystery.
There's a murder.
Here, we'll play the trailer again.
Oh, this don't look like the same movie. That there might be another movie called To Die For.
my flag. That's your flag. Too many lies have been told to my people under the shadow of that flag.
I want you to take it down.
From where?
Your truck.
My truck, my flag.
Some people find it offensive.
What if I find them offensive? You gonna take them down?
Why not take the new trail?
Because I like the old trail. It's my road too, Arnie.
I know, but there are other roads.
You know what? I got a shotgun. It seems to me some things are worth losing your job over, Meg.
Not to me.
4th of July's over. Take your flag down, old man.
It's always 4th of July at my house.
All of the grass shall grow and the water run.
I told you what would happen the next time you touch my flag, Tonto.
What are you gonna do with that gun?
Don't get out of my yard, you'll find out.
And I can identify with Mr. Quinn's position on this matter.
Why the hell is everybody so damn worried about losing their jobs and so little worried about losing their freedom? Next time I'll cut a donut in your damn living room. Touch my flag again. In fact, that school is where I learned to say the Pledge of Allegiance in the first place. Indivisible. But you live under it now.
I live next to it. There's a difference.
Do you drink up enough nerve to tell me to go to hell yet?
Do us both a favor and take the new road in and out of town from now on.
It hurts me as much as it does you.
Somehow I doubt that, man.
I'm going to file the restraining order for the school.
Against me.
Crazy old man.
With great displeasure and embarrassment that I find in favor of the plaintiff in this case, Miss Quinn.
You're going to jail, Clint.
No kidding.
Somebody ought to put that dog down, put it out of misery.
Somebody ought to put you down, put you out of my misery.
I'll call the cops. Get them in jail.
Actually, I'm not planning on being around that long.
I have a right to take a knee. Tell freedom of speech.
You don't have a right to know squat. You gave that up the second your knee hit the grass. Why don't you just leave the country? You hate it so damn much.
Would it surprise you to know that I fought for your flag?
Very much.
Remind me why we did this again?
Not even Afghanistan makes it any less your flag.
Doesn't it?
I was willing to sacrifice my life for your right to take a knee. What are you willing to sacrifice for my right not to?
So needless to say, that would be the kind of movie I'd want to watch.
By the way, I looked it up. It's a very low budget film. It has to be.
Yes, it is.
Because you can't find it.
Yeah, you can only
But
buy
there's
it
a To Die For made in 1995, and there's a TV series called that was also made in 2022.
You could only buy it on DVD.
I couldn't even find that.
Well, it's on the website at the end of the...
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's literally like tiny, tiny budget.
Yes.
Is it even a full-length movie?
I don't know. I assume it is. By the way, Tom said Daisy Duke, oh my.
Pre-order. That's a pre-order. Release date October 20th. It's an hour and 44 minutes, so yeah, it's...
What's it cost? About 15, 20 bucks?
$15.
There you go. Now you know what I want for Christmas.
What an odd thing.
Okay.
Surprised it's not on, like, Amazon or something. I mean, I guess Amazon really wouldn't put something like that on their platform.
Of course not. Of course they're not. Something Americana? What?
I mean, they have Americana things, but they're not, like, either super realistic or to the time.
I mean, if I decided to fly a flag from my car and somebody told me, like, I'm not allowed to drive by their house or something to take a different road outside of town, can you imagine what I would say to that person?
Go fuck yourself. And probably just
in many different ways.
Would you go find a log and stick it up their ass or something?
So yeah, I don't know. To me, that movie just seems interesting. I actually, of all places I saw an ad for it, it was on Facebook.
That's surprising, actually.
That is very surprising.
I wouldn't have been surprised if you said Twitter. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So what did we learn tonight? Once again, Republicans won't win a state race because Kiana didn't go to Georgia to vote.
Oh, yeah. She's worth like 100,000 votes by itself. If you want to know, right now it's 56.5% to 43.5% in favor of Warnock.
That's because that's early voting.
1.2 million votes.
Yeah, it's early voting.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm telling you what it is. It's early voting.
53% over Fulton County already? That's pretty fast. Imagine doing this on election night.
Well, again, probably 50% of Fulton County early voting.
You know what I mean. Like, imagine actually counting 1 million votes in 45 minutes on election night. Imagine.
Well, races would go so quicker if states would allow mail-in votes to be counted. Like, they could start counting them on the day of the election.
They should be like Florida. Everybody just be like Florida. That's the only time I'm ever going to say that.
But Republicans better learn to embrace mail-in voting because it's not going away.
Unfortunately. Until you get a Republican president with a Republican House and a Republican Senate and a Republican Supreme Court where you could abolish it.
No, because it's a states thing. States have to abolish it.
Get 2/3 of the states and make it an amendment.
Elon Musk has fired James Baker due to the Hunter Biden suppression story. Okay. By the way, if you guys haven't been following the Twitter files that they're breaking on this stuff, it's a pretty good, interesting read.
I had no idea what you shared last night since most of it was blacked out anyways.
That was about... So now the government is in the business of notifying places like Twitter, Facebook, of stuff that they basically want suppressed. That they're telling platforms what's true and what's fake. Like they know.
Huh.
So what I posted last night was an email from the office of Katie Hobbs, who is now the governor-elect, at least for the moment, of Arizona, when she was Secretary of State, basically saying, hey, we saw this posted on Twitter. It's fake. Take it down. And Twitter, look up, oh, Katie Hobbs, Democrat. Sure, we'll take it down.
By the way, get 2/3 of the states together, make an amendment that mail-in voting is illegal. There you go.
They're not going to do that.
Are 2/3 of the states Republican?
They're not. They're just not going to do it. It doesn't.
That'd be cool, though.
If 2/3 of the states get together and have a constitutional convention, they better come out with fucking congressional term limits. That's job number one.
Good luck with that part. Not even the Republicans want that. Not the Republicans in office, at least.
Well, that's why if you do it to the states, then the people in office, the federal offices, don't get to vote for it.
People in state offices also like that.
Yeah, but you don't have to make that a constitutional law rule for states.
You just want federal.
Because the Constitution isn't for the states, it's federal. It would have to go into each state's constitution. What are the two ways to pass an amendment to the Constitution? Do we need another civics lesson?
2/3 of the states have to agree to it.
Has that ever happened? Have we ever had a convention of the states to pass?
No.
No, that is correct.
Or you need... I don't remember the other one.
3/4 of the House and 3/4 of the Senate to pass the amendment. President doesn't sign it. Doesn't go to the president for signature.
Well,
then it goes out to the state legislatures, and the state legislatures 2/3 of them have to pass it.
Well, there's zero chance the federal government will ever approve term limits.
Right. So it has to be done by a convention of the states.
Which will never happen.
If vote for me, I will make it happen.
I bet you could go to every person in America that is eligible to vote and ask them, how in the world would you do this? And they'd all be like,
well, of course, because they don't know civics like I do.
Okay, even go to the people who maybe have an interest in politics, who do vote. And I bet you none of them would know how to do that.
I wouldn't say none of them. The vast majority of them wouldn't.
Not many. 95%.
Well, yeah, because
the people that vote.
Because people would think that there's only one way to do it when there's a second way to do it. Yeah. All right, so that's going to do it for tonight. I'm not sure yet when our sports show is going to be this week. It might be Thursday, it might be Friday, it might be a little bit later on Friday because I got a work thing Friday. So
imagine having to work on Friday, really.
Yeah, it's our Christmas party though.
Do you got your ugly sweater?
It's supposed to be from 3 to 7, so I don't know how long I'm gonna stay. So I don't know if I want to do the show Thursday, or if I want to do the show at 7 on Friday, which means I'd have to rush home, or if I want to start the show at 8 on Friday.
You got your ugly sweater?
No.
Where's your ugly sweater?
I don't own one. I do not have a sweater with your mother's face on
it.
Damn. So, Mr. Sports Producer, what are we going to talk about on our sports show this week?
Well, I wanted to talk about some free agency stuff in the NFL, but the person I wanted to talk about got waived today.
Got claimed off of waivers.
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to talk about Baker. Not going to happen now. Maybe we'll talk about some transfer portal stuff.
We're going to talk transfer portal.
All right.
We're going to talk World Cup.
Obviously, we're going to talk about the World Cup.
Yeah.
Maybe not cut it. Maybe not an hour-long World Cup segment. Maybe like 15 minutes.
Okay.
Talk about the state of the NFL.
So, which leads me to want to do the show on Thursday, because then we can talk about all the World Cup games. If we do it on Friday, we're going to miss a couple of them.
True. Maybe we could start talking about, it's a week early. We'll talk about Penn State, Utah a little.
Well, we're not going to talk about that game specifically, but we will talk about early lines on some of the bowl games.
Okay. Because what I want to talk about is what, by transfer portal, what Penn State needs.
Okay.
And maybe some people that they're looking at that can fit those roles, and who's out there that maybe they should go get.
Okay. So let's call it right now. We will do the show Thursday this week at 7.
All right.
So this way we could talk about all of the World Cup matches.
We maybe could talk about some high-profile business going on in the MLB.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I mean, the Mets just don't want to be in October. That's fine. That's why Verlander went to the Mets. He doesn't want to play in October. Right. He doesn't like that pressure.
Right. Yes. I saw that meme. Don't worry.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. And, of course, we will end the show with the Phatts Fantastic 5. Which you shouldn't be paying attention to anyway.
Hey!
Hey, 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 hey!
Winning week.
What are you, an Indian? Hey,
Winning week.
hey, hey, hey!
You got a problem with my winning week?
Hey, 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 hey! What are you, an Indian?
Yeah.
So let's end with this. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. Come on, join in. He was in a pond. He was looking to make a deal. Came across this young man sewing on a fiddle and playing it. The devil jumped up on him. Dude, sing!
I am!
You're not staying in tune. Stay in rhythm. Let's start all over. 3, 2, 1. Sing. I'll sing with you.
Go ahead.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was fucking forget it. You can't fucking sing. Forget it. You suck. See you, everybody. Wave goodbye.
No, you know what? Screw you.